watching the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post with me, Chaiti Narula, India's only dedicated equestrian show. As usual, we've got you horse racing action from all over the world. Now, first, let's start off the show by taking a look at these fiery three-year-olds who will be competing for the Grade 2 SA Poonawalla Multi-Million this Sunday at the Royal Western India Turf Club in Pune. Now, this race has stake money of over 2 million rupees, and there is also a chance to win a car.
The Pune racing season accelerates and now moves into the thick of things. The SA Poonawalla Multi-Million on the cards this Sunday will throw open a new tough set of three-year-olds. The race has always been a popular event with the masses and the expectation is extremely high. The grand prize of a car along with attractive additional prizes makes it one of the most enjoyable days for the paying public. The fashion and the hats are most prominent on this day in Pune, and the Poonawalla brothers think of everything possible to make this day most enthralling.
Well, the big race this weekend is the SA Poonawalla Multi-Million, and of course the horse for me that is a standout horse is Blue Ace. Yes, the money might be on Bizarro, but for me Blue Ace is the horse that's done nothing wrong. He didn't settle last time and possibly that led to his undoing. What I'd like to see Blue Ace do is go out to the lead and run free. I think if he does that, even Bizarro, who's actually surprised me with his performance last time out, I can tell you he was very heavily backed, very strongly fancied. And he's clearly a horse who's done well over the summer. I still feel Bizarro has his work cut out for him when he takes on Blue Ace, and if Blue Ace is able to go out to the lead and run free. Now, the other horse in this field is Red Baron from Dr. Ramaswamy's stable, and I think he's a horse who's shown that he's capable of, well, being a classic contender. He won extremely impressively in open company last time out, and you can't discount him. This seems to be his optimum trip. Possibly may get a mile and a quarter over in Pune, but if he produces what he did in that open race, he's going to be very hard to beat as well.
The contenders this year number a perfect 10, and leading the pack as the prime fancy would be Bizarro. Bizarro has been impressive in all his 3 starts, 2 of which have been winning efforts. He ran twice in Mumbai and on debut just failed to call a Porsche by a narrow margin despite making up a lot of ground in the final furlong. He duly won his next outing and now here in Pune won his first start in the most impressive fashion, beating Catharsis by a solid margin. He was last as they turned for home, and his turn of foot and the manner of victory does suggest that Bizarro has come of age and will take some beating. Storm Tracker was unlucky to lose on objection on his debut after having won the race on the track, but made amends in his next outing despite shifting out alarmingly once again. He has won over the mile, and that experience ought to hold him in good stead. However, he only has a mock race to show coming into this big race, and that might be his weak link. He is definitely well prepared and has the galloping ability to last out the distance, and he'll have to produce his very best to win this one.
Half a length in front of Storm Tracker, getting closer on the outside. Then comes Rodeo and Sophisticated. With about 400 meters more to run, Scarlet is now being joined on the outside by Storm Tracker, travelling well. A length and a half, 2 for the back. The Sophisticated making ground under the stick. Then there's Rodeo towards the inside race. With about 300 meters more to run, and it's Storm Tracker who's gone ahead smoothly. About 2 1/4 lengths in front of Sophisticated in second position under the stick. Then comes Scarlet and Rodeo with about 100 meters more to run there. And Storm Tracker is still about a length and a half, 2 lengths in front of Sophisticated. Storm Tracker wins this one from Sophisticated, finishing up second. Then comes Rodeo and Scarlet.
Blue Ace's career has been marred with slight disappointments. He's got only 1 win to show from 6 starts, but the rest of them is always finished second. A tad unfortunate not to have converted these into more victories. However, he has been a gritty galloper and on his day can make them all run. His 2 seconds this season have been to top horses like Capriole, who went on to beat Alma Mater, and Shivalik Hero, who's a Derby hope, both of whom have done commendably well this season. So another chance of making it big beckons Blue Ace, and he could be just the one to assert himself.
round the turn and into the straight, and Blue Ace in the centre, goes to the front from Shivalik Hero, is on the outside. Phoenix Force fallen back in third, and there's Winston, but it is Shivalik Hero in the centre, just in front of Blue Ace. Winston on the outside. Phoenix Force is far away, but Shivalik Hero is now going away with the General Rajendra Singh Ji Million in great fashion from Blue Ace finishing second. Winston is third, last of four, the Phoenix Force.
Red Baron comes into the reckoning with his latest facile victory over a mile. He has now 3 wins from 6 starts, but the thing that is worrying is that he has not run good races back to back. He's won and then faltered to fare below par and then won again. So if this trend continues, he is in danger.
And fallen back to the last of the Tizian. Into the straight they come. Snowblaze is still the leader, about half a length in front of Secret Service. Red Baron coming up nicely in the middle, and Knighton on the wide outside has fallen back with about 200 meters more to run, and Red Baron stretching out smoothly. He's about 2.5-3 lengths clear and going further away. Red Baron is about 3 lengths clear and going further and further away from Fortune Hunter. Then there is Snowblaze followed by
Neona won the Grade 2 Wadia Trophy and entered the winner's circle in her third attempt. She won with great authority and looked the winner a long way from home. She is encountering a much tougher set of rivals this time, and the extended trip would be a real test to her abilities.
In the last position as they straighten up her home. Neona comes home first, stretching out nicely indeed, about 2 lengths in front of Anahi, trying to bridge the gap. Another 2 lengths for the back there. Silver Birch has got a lot of running to do. Manyata is on the wide outside with about 200 meters more to run. Then it's Neona about 2.5 lengths clear and going, stretching nicely away. Neona in the hands of Sandesh, about 4 lengths clear of Anahi, finishing up second. Sun Salutation third.
Commander survived a scare as Set to Fly put up a brave fight in the final furlong, making Commander sweat for his maiden victory. This was over a 7 furlong race, and the extended distance this time will take everything out of Commander. He would have surely improved after this race. His track work suggests so, but to come out and take a serious crack at this one, Commander would require to do much better.
There's Polynesia joining the bunch and Set to Fly on the outside, Commander in the middle with about 400 meters more to run there. And it's Commander in the middle from Set to Fly on the outside. These two are fighting it out. It's Set to Fly on the outside for Commander under the stick with about 100 meters more to run. It's Commander and Set to Fly going slightly wide. Set to Fly, Commander, they're going stride for stride. It's Commander, Set to Fly. Commander goes for the kill. Commander wins it from Set to Fly, finishing second.
Time now to take a quick break right here on the Fly Kingfisher winning post. When we return, we've got you a lot more international horse racing action waiting for you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're still with me, Chaiti Narula, on the Fly Kingfisher winning post. And on this segment, we've got you all the international horse racing fever. Now, the expectations at the Ladbrokes St. Leger were soaring sky high. Thousands arrived at Doncaster, waiting with bated breath for Camelot to win his first Triple Crown since Nijinsky back in 1970. All the limelight and all the attention, of course, did fall on this champion horse, Camelot. Let's see how this race panned out. The expectations at the Ladbrokes St. Leger were soaring sky high. Thousands arrived at Doncaster. The entire racing fraternity waited in bated breath to salute the first Triple Crown winner since Nijinsky back in 1970. The limelight fell on Camelot and the 19-year-old Joseph O'Brien, who partnered this champion horse. The racing world found themselves in a rude shock as Camelot, the 5-2 on favourite, was blown away on the winning post as Enki, an unconsidered outsider at 25-1, ran past the wire, taking the Leger home.
It's the 236th running, and they're away and racing, and main sequence rather blew the start. Forfeits a few lengths just behind Camelot, the first few strides, not overly urgent, but now Dartford goes on into the lead. The pacemaker for Michelangelo and for Thoughtworthy in second place. Then Ursa Major to the outside, Thomas Chippendale in the pink cap, Enki in the all-blue jacket just behind these. Then in the black with the yellow cap, Frankie Dettori on Michelangelo. Guarantee is out wide. Joseph O'Brien, so much responsibility on young shoulders here in the purple and white jacket on Camelot, who's second last, and main sequence is a bit keen at the back of the field in the hands of Ted Durkin. Not a scary pace at this stage as Dartford heads them along the back straight towards Rose Hill. Leads by a length or so to Thoughtworthy in second. Thomas Chippendale is third. Ursa Major is fourth on the outside of Enki. Then Michelangelo. Camelot moves up a place with just Guarantee behind him, and then main sequence at the back. Over the rise, a mile and a quarter from the finish now. They've covered a half mile or so in the final classic of the season, and it's Dartford by a length and a half still to Thoughtworthy. There's Thomas Chippendale, who's pulling a bit, followed by Enki on the inside in that all-blue jacket. Mikel Barcelona. Shielded on the outside is Johnny Murta on Ursa Major. Michelangelo is further back, then Camelot, who appears to be relaxing well, Guarantee, and finally out the back is main sequence. A long run now, long left-handed turn on the far end of the course. When they eventually swing into the home straight, they'll have 4.5 furlongs to cover, and Dartford maybe just pressing on a bit now from Thoughtworthy, his stable companion in second place under William Buick, who for John Gosden is bidding to win this race for the third year running. In third place is Thomas Chippendale, then Ursa Major. Enki is next, then Michelangelo. No move yet from Camelot, patiently ridden as he was at Epsom. And then towards the rear is Guarantee, and main sequence appears to be pushed along. They head now towards the final bend, and they're now homeward bound in the St. Ledger, and Camelot has only got 2 horses behind him. He's being ridden for a little bit of luck. He's moving up the inside though. Dartford is taken on by Thoughtworthy, whose full brother Lucano won this race in 2007, and he's committed early by William Buick. Ursa Major in second place, Thomas Chippendale, and Camelot is making smooth headway behind these, just behind Enki. Out wide is Michelangelo. Main sequence is beginning to run on. They race down inside the final 2 furlongs now, and Joseph O'Brien is very cool on Camelot. He's riding very confidently in there as Enki takes over from Thoughtworthy. Camelot now, push comes to shove. Enki has got 2 lengths, 3 lengths on Camelot with a furlong left to travel. Enki with first run. Camelot's going to try and bridge the gap in second. He needs to dig in. He's not getting there. It's Enki by 2 lengths to Camelot as they race up towards the line, and Enki for Godolphin, and Mikel Barcelona wins the Ledger.
The 21-year-old Mikel Barcelona was witness seizing a decisive lead on Enki, less than 2 furlongs from home. In the final furlong, Camelot was seen closing with every stride. Enki held on by 3/4 of a length, with Godolphin's long-time celebrated jockey Frankie Dettori back in third on Michelangelo. Barcelona is well remembered for his famous Derby win on Poonawalla in the year 2011. This is a remarkable achievement for the 21-year-old jockey. This happens to be Team Godolphin's 6th Ledger win after the Ballydoyle colt came up 3/4 of a length short in second place behind the 25-1 outsider Enki. Camelot did not appear to travel with quite his usual zest at some points of the race. The St. Ledger success would have made O'Brien the first man to train all 5 British Classic winners in a season. Was the extended mile and 3/4 proving to be a furlong too far for Camelot? The way this race was run, it appeared to be a furlong too short according to most Camelot fans. Camelot becomes the 10th horse to attempt but fail to win the Triple Crown. That was not the history that the racing fraternity was hoping he would make. It was last won by Nijinsky 42 years ago. Enki, who won the St. Ledger beating Camelot, is a bay horse with narrow white stripes, bred in Kentucky by the Darley stud. Sired by King Mambo, he is the second foal of his dam Shabanda, a top-class race mare who won the Irish Oaks and the Prix Vermeil for Aga Khan in the year 2005. Once her racing career came to an end, she was bought by Sheikh Mohammed to become a broodmare for the Dali stud. Enki's full brother, Genius Beast, has won the Sandown Classic Trial in 2011. Enki races in the colours of Maktoum family's Godolphin Racing Organisation and is trained by Mohammad Al-Zaruni.
Well, now how do you take a heartbreaking loss like that and make sense of it? Was Joseph O'Brien overconfident? Did he get into trouble? Did he believe that he could get his horse out and he was just that much better than the field? It's just so hard to say. Mikel Barcelona, I thought, has ridden a superb race, and this young lad is on his way to superstardom. He's already won the Epsom Derby. He's now won the St. Leger. And, well, there's just so much ahead for this young boy. But let's talk about Camelot. Let's talk about the loser as against the winner. Camelot, as Aidan O'Brien had said, didn't quicken up as he much as stretched. Now, perhaps the early pace being too slow didn't really suit him. But then again, the question mark of whether he genuinely gets the 1 3/4 miles in my mind is yet a question mark, because there was a slow pace. He possibly got it. Will Camelot run the arc? Hard for anyone to say, but if he does, he'll make it one of the most interesting arcs in the last 10 years.
Camelot is a bay colt bred by Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa Al Khalifa. The colt was reared at the Highclere stud near Newbury in Berkshire. In October 2010, he was sent as a yearling to the Tattersall sales at Newmarket, where he was bought by the bloodstock agent Dermot Demi O'Brien on behalf of the Coolmore organisation. He was then sent into training with Aidan O'Brien at Ballydoyle. For racing purposes, Camelot is registered as being owned by Derek Smith, Mrs. John McNair and Michael Tabor. Camelot is one of many top-class horses sired by Montjeu. From his arrival at Ballydoyle, Camelot's race records have been impressive. Camelot happens to be the son of Montjeu, and what better time than now to take a look at the story of the champion sire, Montjeu. In the year 1996, Sir James Goldsmith bred colt by the great Sadler's Wells from a mare called Floribets. The colt will be named Montjeu and would take the racing world by storm. Many good horses do not necessarily become stallions, and in today's industry's trends, those who infuse a dominance of stamina are deemed to be doomed. However, Montjeu was different and very special. In 1997, Sir James died even before Montjeu ever raced, and the deed to the colt was transferred to a holding company. Montjeu raced twice before he was sold to Michael Tabor. As a racehorse, Montjeu began his career as a 2-year-old and went unbeaten. The colt wintered well, and when he reappeared as a 3-year-old, it was clear that he had matured into something very special. In the year 1999, Montjeu won the Irish Derby, the French Derby and the Arc, and was unanimously voted the Cartier 3-year-old European champion colt and the world champion. Unlike many great champions before him, Montjeu returned to racing as a 4-year-old and won 3 more Group 1 races, including the King George, and was voted champion older horse in Europe. At the end of his 4-year-old campaign, Montjeu was retired to Coolmore in Ireland. It's conceivable that even the astute Coolmore boys were unaware of how good a stallion Montjeu would become. Montjeu turned out to be an exceptional young sire and has already sired a number of Group 1 winners. These included the Arc winner Hurricane Run, 2005 Epsom Derby winner Motivator, 2007 Epsom Derby winner Authorized, and the 2008 Irish Derby winner Frozen Fire. In Singapore, he has already played a major role and is presently in the top 5 stallions on the general sires list. His biggest money earner in Singapore in 2008 is Pratesh, who has won 3 races in a row. Montjeu stands at a fee of €125,000, a staggering amount considering his prepotency for siring middle-distance horses rather than sprinters. Montjeu collected a third classic title this season after his unbeaten son, Camelot, added the Irish Derby to an already outstanding race record. Let's now take a look at the pedigree chart of Montjeu. Montjeu is by Sadler's Wells a great sire and a great sire of sires. His dam is Floripidus by Topville, who also brings in stamina into the pedigree. Montjeu is a sire of great regard, and for those looking for classic middle distance performances, this search could well begin and end with Montjeu. Well, that was Camelot becoming the 10th horse to attempt but failed to win the Triple Crown. Now, that was not the history that the racing fraternity was expecting he would create. Anyway, on that note, let's take a quick break. When we return, we've got you a lot more racing action waiting for you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're with me, Chaiti Narula, on India's only dedicated equestrian show, the Fly Kingfisher Winning Post. Time now to take a look at our weekly Kingfisher Trailblazers. This time around from Mysore and from Hyderabad. Let's take a look. In this weekend's Kingfisher Trailblazers, we feature the Mysore Race Club Cup, a terms race for 3-year-olds and upwards, run over 7 furlongs. This race at Hyderabad was won by Vijay Monarch and trained by LVR Deshmukh. Episdoe finished second and Proof wound up third. Another one at Hyderabad included the AP Chief Minister's Cup, a terms race for 3-year-olds and upwards, and Kohinoor Wish from the stables of Anupam Sharma won this one, from Aristos finishing in the second place, followed by Pitalo. Only 3 horses faced the starter for the mile trip. Kohinoor Wish, partnered by Suraj Naredu, surged in the front to assert its superiority in this race. Kohinoor Wish and Vijay Monarch proving their mettle right there on the winning post. On that note, let's wind up the show. I will see you next weekend again with all the horse racing action from all over the world as usual. Until then, may the horse be with you.